This episode of Disruption Nation is sponsored by Kimberly Stevens Remax 5-Star. Here you go.
Disruption Nation, our guest Cassie D. Marker, you're up.
What's up? Welcome back. I'm your host, Taylor Wadehofer, Disruption Nation. We're back at it again. Okay, we have Cassie in the hot seat today, hailing from Katy. Cassie, let's see what I knew I was gonna do this. Dudene, right?
Dudene, that's right.
All right.
That's why
she's
branded
like, I can't
myself.
say Wadehofer either. I'm like, perfect.
I branded
It's even.
myself Cassie D, so it's easy to remember and say.
Yeah. It's awesome. Well, I'm happy you're here. Thank you
Yes,
for being
me too.
here. She was
Thank you.
featured in Houston Earl Producers Magazine, by the way. So one of the best agents in the city, and that's what we do on Disruption Nation is we highlight people that are disrupting their space in a positive way, and that's what we're going to talk about. How is Cassie doing it? Home front. Congratulations on 16 years of marriage. Fantastic.
Thank
you. 2 beautiful kids, 8 and 11.
Yes.
Boy, girl. Okay, didn't get the girl. Stopped after the boys, but it's all good.
She's a lot.
How's it having one of each?
Good.
Yeah.
She's gonna wear me out.
Which one's easier or harder? I don't know.
She
However you want to
is.
answer that.
She's 8 and she's just like me, and
She's a little terror, a little bit. Or when
she's
she wants to be.
super sassy.
Yeah.
And
Probably like super sweet though too.
she's
right?
super sweet,
And
but
then
she's
she'll
super
have the
sassy,
sassy
and
moments.
I probably have 3 more years left before we're like really butting heads as teenagers. So
That's
we'll
where
see.
I'm at. That's where I'm at. Because 8 and 11, mine are 8 and 11, so I get it. I'm like, I mean, I got a few more years with these guys, and it's gonna be bad for a few years. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. All right. So Jonathan Dennison's your broker, right?
He's a managing partner there.
Managing partner, good buddy. Shout out to you, sir. She's mentoring 4 agents right now, 4 mentees. Okay, you only get to do that or asked to do that if you know what you're doing and doing good things, which you are. About to get your own broker's license. You're in the middle of that.
I am. I've been an agent for 4 years, so I'm starting that process. I don't know what the future is going to look like, but I'm just taking it one step at a time. Yeah. Taking the class is going to take the test and see where it takes me from there.
Awesome. 20 under 40. It's awesome. Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that. Yeah, big. That's huge. Great accolades. Independent, not a big team. She's producing what she's producing. Solo. Not like transaction help.
I get a transaction coordinator if I'm if I need one.
Is that within
Well, no.
FYI Realty, or is that?
I'll get one
just get one
independently.
under-
Yes.
Independently.
And I use one sometimes. I'm kind of controlling about my paperwork and stuff, but
That's
it's
important.
definitely helpful.
That's important.
So
Yeah.
I do use a transaction coordinator.
Yeah. Good. I mean that's huge. So you deserve it. All right. We're gonna talk about some of the activities, best practices, and she's. We were talking a little bit before the show, so it's you don't have to overthink it, and I love that because it's really getting singularly focused on a few important things, and that can make a big difference and separate you or take you from good to great, which she's done. Follow up, man, there's so much there. So we're gonna talk about some follow up tricks that she's good at, and then just our market right now, because the market is what it is, and it has been that way for a long time. And I don't want to say there's no end in sight, but it's definitely been consistent for quite a while, for sure. Leveraging social media, okay? We'll probably go there in a minute because we're leveraging social media right now. I'm just laughing because she's like, we're going to go live? And I'm like, golly, we've done 85 of these things. Like, and then, how did she not know this? And I mean, but I take responsibility. I'm sorry. Like, maybe there wasn't an email that said that this is going to be be live on social. But leveraging social in her business, okay, back to that. And just some good stuff. Like, back to the kids, how to leverage being an agent in your business, and, like sponsoring kids sports, and, some cool things she's doing in the community. And, so let's go back to social, since, here we are. So in your business though, like, what are some of the ways that you have seen, benefits from?
Well,
from Instagram, and which platforms?
Well, I use Instagram and Facebook the most. I have LinkedIn as well, and I have quite a few contacts on there from my past career. So I just leverage, who I am. I just, I do a lot of, I socialize a lot. I mean, that's just who I am anyway. I share that. I share what's going on in my life with my kids. I share, of course, I share my business stuff, but I feel like for people to see who you are as a person, and yes, I'm successful with my business, but people relate to you on what you do and who you are, and other than just your business, because that's only a little bit of who you are. And I think people like to see about your whole life. I mean, it's not just, people are nosy. I mean, that's what we do. We scroll social media. So I think putting yourself out there for who you really are, being just yourself, I think that helps a lot. And I've seen a lot of like referrals from people that I know from high school. I went to a small high school, like 50 graduating class, right? But I'm friends with a ton of people on Facebook. I have them say, hey, message me. Hey, my cousin's moving into town. Can you help him buy a house? Or one of my childhood friends I went to high school with, I hadn't talked to in 20 years.
Awesome.
She messages me and say, hey, we're moving to Humble. Can you help us buy a house? So it really helps. It made, I get more of networking through people I know, not so much people I don't know. I did have somebody recently find me on a neighborhood Facebook page. Somebody had recommended me. So it's, it's kind of like that. It's not necessarily, it's more organic, not necessarily random people.
That's huge. Golly, I got so many questions. That was great information. Seriously. So the business and the personal, tied to how many times you're posting a week. I'm curious to your frequency, right? So
I mean, I post a lot. Try to post quite a few times on my stories a day. I think stories are huge. You can see who's see who's looking at it. And just kind of the day in the life. It doesn't necessarily have to do anything with real estate some days, I'm working out, I'm going to my kids' games, I'm dealing with my sassy kid, I'm trying to cook dinner. Yes, real estate stuff as I'm doing that.
So those are examples of story
right,
type posts, right?
Just who you are. And then, I post as well on a couple of times a day on my feed. Once for business and some for personal. And, some of it's planned out, and then some of it's just as I go.
Sure.
A couple of weeks ago, Facebook was down or on like a Monday or something.
Right.
And honestly, because it's such a part of my business, it's a part of my business, so it's a full-time job. So I was kind of like, oh, I can just relax for a couple of hours and not think about it. But
that's funny.
It helps a whole lot. Social media is huge.
What type of business post are you doing?
Of course, I do all the coming soon, my closing, testimonies and stuff like that. But just what I'm doing, where I'm at, what I'm doing with work. Out showing, I'm talking to people, tips, or what, for buying a house or selling a house or, getting one ready, or just anything that has to do with the market, anything like that.
Or where are you pulling the content from that you're posting? Because are you coming up, because there's a couple of different ways, right?
Right.
This could be just Cassie's knowledge, like this is what I'm going to drop on my following, or it could be
I pull it from
a real estate group, which is nothing wrong with that.
I pull it from different places, but
huge. Nothing wrong with that.
I pull it sometimes from Pinterest, but it's kind of just off the top of my head. It may just be a picture and a little caption. It doesn't have to be a whole paragraph, because sometimes people get bored. You have a little bit of time to capture people.
All your clients that you work with, do you post or take pictures?
I do. I take pictures with all of them. I always ask permission. Some people don't want to be on social media. Some people don't want to be tagged. So, but most everyone does, and they're excited and they like that.
Yeah, it's huge.
And that that gets other people excited. Hey, they can buy a house, so can I, or
It's true. I know. Absolutely. Keeping up with the Joneses. So, title, like at the title company? Is that a
Yeah, I
spot?
usually do it at the title company or in front of the house. Or I have one client, they have redone their whole house since I sold it to them, and I'm going to go over next week and do a video and kind of show what
That's
they've done.
huge.
You know, I mean,
That would be
that's fun
cool.
for them, but
That'd be
also
cool.
it shows people, it gives people ideas. I mean, people love HGTV. It's, you know,
Yeah.
just giving people entertainment with the business.
Right. That's huge. I think that they'll like that. That'll be good for all parties involved,
Yes.
for sure. And then what? So now you got the business and the personal that we kind of talked about. We talked about the frequency. You know, now I'm curious with because you have a couple different platforms too. You know, so you have Facebook and Instagram. Was that mostly Facebook or? Was that,
I mean, mostly Facebook, but I mean, it feeds over into Instagram. I
that's
try
true
to
for your stories, right?
right.
But what about
I try to
IG
mix
posts?
it up.
IG just regular personal or business?
I don't post as much on my Instagram as like I don't
For
post like
business type
several
stuff?
days,
Or
like
just
several times a day.
frequency, you're not posting
Right,
that
but
on that
I do
platform as much.
post on
Gotcha.
Instagram as well. I try to mix it up so it's not the same.
Yeah, same.
So, you know, I think people are looking different. You have a different target audience on Instagram, so you know these people they don't.
How is
they're
it for you?
moving
Because
quick.
I think depending on how you build the platform and build your following, it speaks to exactly what you're talking about, right?
Right.
So for you, for Cassie, what's your, I guess, difference between the two? Like,
Well,
how would you describe the difference?
Well,
'Cause
the
I give you my answer, but
Facebook is
different for
more
everybody.
like people my age and older, you know, families, that kind of stuff. Instagram is younger. I would say millennials, but younger than that. I mean, you know, my niece has an Instagram. She's 14 or something. So it's just a different demographic, and they don't want to see 12 pictures. They want to see one thing and read a little bit and move on because your attention span's really quick. I mean, even
That's right.
mine.
Yeah, same. Yep.
And you know, I have started to do some reels. I mean, I watch a lot of them. I'll say that.
Yeah,
you know,
reels are
go
great.
through them because
We're
they're
reeling this.
right. Oh, okay. But it's all about just attracting some attention to get people to watch you and kind of get to know you.
Yeah, that's huge. That's what it's there for. Thank you, social media.
Right?
All right, so yeah, I mean, take advantage of it. There's, I mean, I haven't